All right. I am Laura Jackson, and I'm going to talk to you today about something that seems very apropos based on the other presentations that we've had so far, which is interdisciplinary collaboration in sign language interpreting, and how we have used that to help teach our students practical interpreting skills. So I know that most of you are not sign language interpreters and may not know much about interpreting or about our program. So I'm hoping today to, in less than 5 minutes, tell you a little bit about that, as well as hopefully encourage some of you to collaborate with us as well to help broaden the scope of these interpreters' practice. So first, I do want to thank Linda Connolly in the nursing department, as well as Richmond Wynn in mental health counseling, as well as CERT for providing some opportunities for our students in a variety of different areas so that they can get that authentic interpreting practice. So as I mentioned already, interpreting, nursing, and mental health counseling are all what are considered practice professions. So students need to have authentic experience in order to improve their skills in whatever area it is. One thing that's unique for interpreting is the broad scope of knowledge and skills that are needed for interpreters to work in any setting where they may be asked to interpret. So some of these settings include hospitals, schools, religious institutions, political forums, and even music concerts. So if you can imagine not only teaching the skill of interpreting, but also having students get enough exposure to a variety of settings to help them understand what they might need to know to go into any of those settings they may be asked to interpret in. So the knowledge and skills is one aspect of that, but also interpersonal skills that students will need to learn in order to know how to interact with both the participants who are deaf and those who are not deaf. So just briefly about our program, we do have a bachelor's program in American Sign Language / English interpreting, and there are 2 ways to get into that program. The first is to transfer in and take the last 2 years of coursework at UNF if they already have their associate's degree, or they can take all 4 years of coursework at UNF. Either way, most of the coursework is delivered online in our hybrid program, and students come to campus 1 weekend a month for hands-on skill practice in select courses. So that just briefly tells you a little bit about our program. But what we found in the past 2 years of delivering our program primarily online is that knowledge and skills are fairly easy to deliver online. It's pretty easy to come up with discussions or come up with assignments for students to do online. But interpersonal skills are much more challenging to deliver and assess online. And so what we have done through the use of online simulations is try to simulate that, but unfortunately you can't really mimic what happens in real life when you meet a person and how you interact with that person. So the picture here is of one of our skills-based courses called Interpreting for Persons Who Are Deaf-Blind, and this is one of the skills courses that they did have an on-site component for, and so students worked with deaf-blind language mentors who were able to help them practice not only interpreting auditory information, but also interpreting visual information that those participants would miss in their surrounding environment, and that's not something that you can really mimic online. So what we've found is that the key to making the most of the students' time when they're with us in the limited amount of time they have on campus is collaboration. Students working with students in other programs just has something different about it than students working with instructors or students working with other professionals who already know about their field. They already kind of know how to work with other professionals. So it just has a different feel to it. But as we've kind of heard already today in some of the other presentations, collaboration is not always viewed in a positive light by most students. I know that our students in our program don't like group work and would much rather do something by themselves than have to work with a group to accomplish something. However, what we found in just the last year that we've started these collaborative relationships is that overall the feedback has been very positive, that we've had students in all of the programs that we've worked with have very positive things to say, as well as the deaf and deafblind volunteers who we've had come into our classes and be language mentors and be actors in these mock simulations that we have. Is that my 1 minute? That was my, I'm done. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'll try and wrap this up. The last thing I just want to say is, as with everything, more research is needed to fully explore the benefits of this collaborative approach, and also to just make sure that we're doing everything we can to collaborate with others. I think everyone has a small piece of the puzzle, and I know that together we can do great things here at UNF. Thank you.